Hartley, I can't thank you enough for being on the CEO Global Network podcast. It's great to see you. It's great to see you again.
Thank you,
So,
John. Great seeing you.
yeah, no, thank you very much. And for people who are joining us, either listening or watching, I just want to let everybody know that Hartley is the CEO and president of Ketch Engineering, headquartered in Calgary, but also with offices in Chicago and Texas. And
Sure.
Hartley, if we go back a couple of years, you're a graduate of the University of Alberta, Bachelor of Science of Electrical Engineering and Power Systems, and you're calling in from Calgary today, aren't you?
I am. Yeah. Live
Yeah.
from my house.
Yeah, how good is that? How good is that? Well, I've got a couple of questions for you, so
Sure.
let's get started. The first thing I want to ask you, Hartley, is this: how do you foster at Ketch Engineering a culture that attracts top talent? Because I know you've got a great team there. How do you do that?
Culture really, it has to come from the top. The CEO is instrumental to that being working throughout the organization. So it starts with your recruitment of your leaders, right? The people that are doing on the ground, working for you, managing the staff. I am a huge, huge believer in core values. You need to live your core values. They are a part of the identity. They're what your employees or future employees will gravitate towards, right? You need to invest in your people. It's absolutely critical. And being in the engineering business, we're a service company. The only thing we own, we don't own anything. We have people. We sell their thoughts, their synapse power, right? All those things. So you have to invest in, everybody's going to get a wage somewhere. What makes this place special? And then the last thing, you have to have fun together, right? We spend so much time working together and being around each other your employees and your subcontractors that work with you, they are your best advertisement. You might not pay the best, you might not, there's a bunch of things, but if an employee says, I really like working here, they do this and this and this, that is your best recruitment effort to talk to them.
No, how true is that? Absolutely. Absolutely. What has been the most innovative solution, Hartley, that your team has implemented in a recent energy project? Can you share sort of an innovative solution with us?
Sure. So, I'm a nerdy guy, right? I'm an electrical engineer. I love problem solving. I'm entering my 30th year of professional practice.
That's hard to believe.
So I know. So one of the things that Alberta particularly has done really well over the last 40 years is modularization, is changing the way that we build things to build them in controlled environments in the shops around Alberta, ship them to the destinations where they're going to go in, put them in so that we control the cost to build, the quality of the build, that you're doing it in environments that are much more amenable than in the deep snow at -40. So that is something Alberta has really done well, and that not everywhere around North America understands that or does that well. So we've started taking that know-how of modularizing, particularly substations, right? Modularizing those and then using those, particularly presenting that within Ontario that doesn't have that same industrial basis that we do, or other places in the Maritimes or the United States. So really exporting that know-how that we have out of Alberta to modularize stuff, build it at a really cost-effective and high quality, and then ship it to site, drop it in, get it running.
Oh, wow, that's true. That's fantastic. That is innovative. Now, how do you balance technical leadership with business strategy in your role as the CEO?
It's difficult. Like I'm a nerd
It's
at heart.
difficult.
I love, and engineers, they can't see a problem that they don't want to try and solve. It just doesn't work, right? So you have to put yourself in that. You need to, from a company execution point of view, and me getting, staying in the tools that I want to, but doing the leadership things I need to. I need to recruit people that have the technical training that I both respect, but can also learn from, that they can foster that knowledge within our company. Yeah, it is still difficult to stay out of the
It's a
technical
challenge.
knowledge. It is a challenge. And developing skills, we all go back to our comfort zone. And so for engineers, consulting engineers, solving problems and those are the easy things, right? Those are the things we like doing. Solving people issues or looking at leadership opportunities, those are the hard things that you have to, get training, develop skills around that so that that becomes your comfort zone, that you can feel balanced in doing both of those things.
Yeah, no, and yeah, and it's a challenge, but you're doing it. You're doing it, Harley, for sure.
Well, and engineers are not trained necessarily that way. That's all, some of it you have the aptitude to do, but you really need to train yourself, take opportunities to learn, practice, because those skills are they are a lot harder than picking up, technical knowledge.
Yeah, they are. They are, no question about it. Now, is there a trend or two in the energy industry, Hartley, that that it is shaping the future of electrical engineering? Do you see some trends there?
There are, well, certainly not just electrical engineering,
Okay,
but
engineering.
power delivery systems around the world. So if you look at in Spain, they had that power collapse that happened several months ago, and then there have been several other close incidences like that, and it's really around. So the world has moved to renewable sources, which is fantastic. But the sun only shines during the day. The wind only blows, at certain times. So
Okay.
those they're not like other more traditional power systems. The invention of like battery systems and energy storage happened a long time ago. But the technological change that has happened there in the last 5 to 10 to 2 years is incredible. And that single change in how do we store electricity and deploy it at a later time or date is the game changer. That will change energy markets across the world. It will allow us to increase our renewables, allow for deployment of renewables when the sun is not shining and the wind is not blowing, and really level our usage. And part of the issue, I know I'm going to talk a little bit about this, but I love this topic.
Go ahead. Very interesting.
Uh, Electricity systems. So North America, if you think about it as a big rotating turbine, right? Power flows in a certain way and it has inertia to it. So solar systems don't have inertia. If your system starts to drop, it's going to collapse. So rotating turbines, reciprocating generators, these things that go around the mass have inertia to that system. Batteries, it's called synthetic inertia. So they can add that inertia into an electricity system so that the system becomes more robust. It'll be stable when there are, potential, like they lose sources of generation or large loads are applied. So that change and the regulatory change that is happening around North America around battery and stored energy systems, like it will change the game in the next 10 years. It's amazing.
Well, that's very interesting. Hartley, I got one last question for you, and then we'll wrap up, okay? And it's around what advice that you would give to engineers who are aspiring to move into leadership roles. Are there some words of wisdom for engineers that would like to move into leadership roles?
So we talked about a few minutes ago in terms of, we are not, engineers have to take a little bit of management, but not very much. We are trained technically. So when we graduate, we are a hammer and we're looking for nails. But, we are also, as engineers, we tend to be, maybe a little more introverted, or we don't tend
Mm,
to, we approach that comfort zone of solving problems. So getting out of your shell, finding out, and not all engineers, like I'm a learned extrovert. Not all engineers are introverts or extroverts, but
well,
certainly getting out of your comfort zone into doing those things. Get training. Like find opportunities to develop leadership. Like think of leadership and management as a skill that you need to achieve. CEOs, I remember, I've worked with CEO Global for many years now. It's like one of my favorite organizations. But I really learned about empathy and how CEOs and technical people, they don't understand the relationship of empathy to leadership, and they don't always, they haven't exercised it a lot. Empathy can be learned. And I had one of my great, my longtime engineering friends, he told me that. He's like, no, if you practice it, you will learn it. You will be a better leader. You'll be a better manager. You'll understand what your team needs, and you can help your team. So leadership's a skill. Management's a skill. Take training.
well, that's terrific advice. It's so important, that you continue to get better at
Yeah.
being a leader. And that's great advice. Hartley, I can't thank you enough for being on the CEO Global Network podcast. It's been fascinating to talk to you about these things, and I wish we could talk longer. But maybe what we can do is have you back, okay? And we'll continue the discussion, right? But
Next time we
this was
do that.
let's do it. This was terrific. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for the opportunity, John. I really appreciate it.